Hello again, everybody. This is Steve coming to you with my May 2025 writing update. Uh, this update should be fairly brief. I don't have a lot to talk about, but I did at least wanted to bring you guys up to speed on what's been going on, what's happening, where I'm at, stuff like that, just to keep you a pace of everything that's going on. Uh, Item 1, WizardCon. I did mention that I was going to that. I know my calendar didn't show that correctly, but that's a work in progress. I'll get that fixed. But that was the weekend of the I believe the 25th. Let me check the calendar again. Yeah, 25th to the 27th. Not ba- It wasn't bad for a first year convention. Actually, I think it went extremely well. We had way more people there than they expected. They were only expecting about 100 people. We had 350 to 400 ish, and the cap was 450. So not bad. Went over really good. The hotel was a bunch of jerks, but that happens. It's no fault of the convention. It was the hotel was being greedy. It was being idiots. They didn't figure we had any standing, so they could push us around. And well, not us. I can't say us because I wasn't actually part of the staff. I was just there. But as far as the convention as a whole goes, I could say yeah, us, because Anyways, I'll leave that alone. Don can explain that more. But overall, it went really well. And if you missed it, I feel bad for you. And for those that don't believe I was there, that was my table in the vendor's room. Not the best setup. I've done better setups before this, but again, this is my first time out. I was getting some stuff figured out. Had to do some stuff last minute. This one here, the race. I was late to my first day because I had, the printer decided to drag their feet and take their sweet time, so I had to stay home until that arrived. But once it arrived, then I was able to get in there and put it on the table, and everybody loved what they saw. I had my 3 regular science fiction series, first book of each. I don't have the second book yet. That's still in progress. I also had the 4 books of my ministry, or my 4 ministry books in there, the 3 regular pocket guides and the parable novel of Jenna's Journey. Ran into these guys in the morning of the second day, I think it was. These guys came in. Of course, it's called WizardCon, so these guys came in dressed like wizards. Everybody was just raving about their costumes and stuff. And for those who didn't think I actually was there and was just kind of wandering around trying to pretend I was there, that's my special guest badge, and there's the all event badge that came with it. So that just proves that yeah, I was there. That it wasn't the convention's fault; it was the hotel's fault. They shoved everybody in the vendor's room over into a corner where we were out of sight, out of mind, and people didn't know about us, even though there was big signs put up. They made, the hotel made sure that we were as miserable as possible. I'll say it that way. Even so, it still went over extremely well. So, anyways, I'll leave it at that. I'm not gonna grind that one into the ground. But yeah, I'm sure corporate's probably gotten a few calls about what those guys did, and they'll be taking care of that problem. Next year, though, the convention is not going to be in Kalamazoo. It's going to be in Battle Creek, and there's a much, much better hotel coming in, or that we're going to be coming into, or they'll be coming into. I keep saying we, just because it's run by my friend. But they'll be coming into into a much better hotel over in Battle Creek next year. They're increasing the limit from 450 to 500 people, and they're going to vastly improve the layout from what they had this year. They learned a whole bunch of stuff, which you can expect from first year. They learned a bunch of stuff, and it's going to make it such a better convention, and I'll be back again next year for you guys to see and visit me in the vendor hall and visit the gaming rooms and all that stuff, and just have a whole lot of fun. Item number 2 is print books. You guys saw these that I had. That's all I've got so far is 7 of my books in print right now. I am still working on the other ones. Don's done with his convention. Once he finishes wrapping up all of that and stuff that got put behind because of that, he's going to go ahead and work on getting the rest of them into print. The plan is to go through all the rest of the Earthfleet novels and Land of the Alliance before the end of the year. and then from there, the following year we'll be working on all of my Off-World Chronicles stuff. Before that, though, I think what he's going to do, which he's already got the layouts, or he's already got the manuscripts for it, is book 2 for each of the 3 series. And then, like I say, we'll go in and we'll tidy up the rest of what we need to get the first 2 series out. And then in 26, we'll work on the rest of Off-World Chronicles. And from there, everything will be in print. So that should be taken care of, hopefully, within the rest of the print stuff taken care of in the next 2 years. And if for those of you who are still complaining, that's too slow. Yeah, okay. If you ever actually tried to do all the things necessary for printing a book, the layout, the cover, all that stuff, trust me, it's not a fast process. It was not a fast process when I started publishing in 2009. It was months and months to get just one book done and out. I would say 30 days minimum to get a single book out. So, definitely not a fast process. It's not like ebooks where you just point, click, submit. Hey, I'm up online, I'm published. With print, there's a whole lot more involved, printers and other stuff like that. So, anyways, point 3. Right now, or point 3 is on conventions. Right now, I don't have anything on the docket for the rest of 2025. However, that's more because of scheduling over availability. In other words, when the events are going to happen versus when I'm going to be able to go to them, and so on and so forth. I do have 1 possible and 2 prospects that I'm looking at for the fall of this year. So 3 possible shows. But at least 1 for certain. I'll let you know, and I'll put it on the calendar once I have something nailed down for that. And like I say, I'll keep you guys informed. But that's going to be something that's going to be a little slow in getting going. As I get them figured out, as I get opportunity, as I get my schedule worked in to be able to do these events, then I'll be able to start picking up the pace. But for right now, it's going to be a little slow when I get started. Yay, welcome to being a published author, right? Point 4, podcasts. As I've stated before, if you have podcasts you'd like to see me on, let me know. Right now, I just have the vlog of many things, but I'm looking to expand out from there. So your suggestions are greatly welcomed. I have not had time to really do deep research on who to go to, where to go to. I have 1 possible. I'm waiting on some things before I approach them. But and most of that, I think, is just waiting for Don to finish getting the rest of my book 2s for the 3 for the 3 series I have into print. So I have at least book 1 and 2 of each series. And then I'll start going big on the podcast. So, like I say, if you've got suggestions, let me know. I'll look into them. I'll research them, and I'll go from there. Point 5, Intro to Writing videos. I'm slowly working towards the end of my Intro to Writing series. If you have anything you'd like me to talk about going forward, please let me know. I'm willing to talk about... random yawn snuck up on me. I'm willing to talk about any topic that I can authoritatively speak on that you would like me to talk about. If you need help with like romance novels, probably not, because that's not my bread and butter, and I really don't know much about them. But you want to talk about publishing? Hey, let's go for it. Publishing. I can bring my friend Don in. We can do a live broadcast, whatever you want to do to talk more about it, where to go, what to do, so forth like that. Future projects. I'm not sure if I covered this in a previous update, but the 2 projects I have on my plate right now are to work on my upcoming book, The Biblical Use of Lots, which is another one of my upcoming pocket guides. I have that one and 3 others that I've got on deck to be worked on, and The Man Who Reached for God, which is essentially a parable novel. Those 2 are, and for those who were complaining about me canceling Magefall, again, not my choice. However, I do have clearance to use some of the content from that as practices. So I will be posting those on YouTube and on my YouTube and Rumble channels for you to enjoy as I'm able to finish them. Right now, I don't have the time, more the energy than the time. But like I was saying, scheduling issues, time, energy to some degree. I mean, come on, I'm 53 years old. I'm not going to be running around like a spring chicken on Red Bull or Nitro or whatever. So I have to kind of manage my energy a lot more than some of you younger bucks do. Now, as far as how soon that'll be and getting those out, I don't know. One thing that I have picked up, and I'm actually doing surprisingly well with it, is I have a book I'm working on called The Wielder's Dream. Now, the name might change eventually, but the working title right now is The Wielder's Dream. In short, it's about this guy whose soul gets yanked out of his body and dropped in the body of this like super powerful superhero character. And he's running around trying to figure out, how to live in this fantasy world with this living in this new body of his. And it's written entirely in first person, which is foreign to me. I'm used to doing third person, and this one's written entirely in first person. And I'm actually doing surprisingly well at it, given the fact that the last couple times I tried to do first person, I just fell flat on my face. But I think the difference with this one versus then is, one, I'm a lot more seasoned, and two, I have a really clear idea of how I want the book to progress, whereas the other ones I was just kind of throwing it at the wall to see what I got and didn't get anywhere, which I guess that's kind of expected. But I think you'll enjoy it once I finally get it written. I'm only up to chapter 2. I'm getting ready to roll into chapter 3. It's been a blast. I don't know if I'll just get to a point and get tired of it and walk away, or if I'll take it all the way to publication, or if it'll just be something I'll put up on YouTube as, hey, I did this experiment. What do you think of it? I'll have to get a lot deeper into it before I can really decide what direction I want to take that book. But that is another one I got on my plate. I'm just kind of picking at it as I have time. But like I say, I'm 2 chapters in, and it's been a lot of fun, and been surprisingly easier than the last couple times I tried writing in first person, which, I still have very painful memories of those experiences. That's how bad they went. Anyhow, that's all I have for this update. Hey, we actually went reasonably short this time. That's impressive. It's only about 13 minutes. So, anyways, I don't have anything else for right now. I'll leave it at that. And if you guys have any comments, questions, thoughts, etc., please let me know. Also, with the Wielder's Dream, getting it crossed up with my Weaver's Forge book. The Wielder's Dream, when I get that one done, I'm going to need some people to be feedback readers. I don't expect to have anything ready for feedback reading for at least another month or two. But keep it in the back of your mind. If you're interested, I would love to hear I'd love to have you read it and hear your thoughts on it. So, just keep me informed and let me know if you're interested. And with that, I shall bid you adieu for this update.